Gentlemen, let's get real for a second. Most men walk around thinking they're bulletproof when it comes to emotions. We tell ourselves, I've got this, I'm in control. But the truth is there are rare moments, powerful, transformative moments when a man's guard drops and his heart opens up. And when that happens, everything changes. It's not about luck. It's not about fate. It's about triggers. There are 7 specific things, 7 deep, undeniable forces that can take a man from casual to completely committed, from detached to deeply connected, and today we're going to pull back the curtain and expose exactly what those are, so you understand why you feel what you feel, and how it can redefine every relationship in your life. Respect that inspires trust isn't just about polite manners or courteous words. It's about the way a man feels seen, valued, and acknowledged at his core. For most men, respect is more than just a nice to have. It's a fundamental emotional need. When he senses that his thoughts, opinions, and choices are genuinely appreciated, it does something powerful to his heart. It allows him to feel safe in being himself without fear of being belittled or dismissed. That feeling of acceptance starts building a bridge of trust, and once that bridge is strong, he begins to invest emotionally in ways he never would in a space where he feels judged. Respect communicates that you believe in who he is, even before he's achieved his biggest goals, and that belief can spark a deep emotional attachment over time. Men are often conditioned to put on armor in their daily lives, at work, in social settings, and even in their personal relationships. They're told to be strong, to avoid showing weakness, and to keep emotions in check. This creates an inner tension because, while they may look self-assured on the outside, on the inside they crave a place where they can lay that armor down. Respect creates that place. When a man knows that he can share his ideas or express himself without being mocked or shot down, his guard lowers. That's when his true personality, his dreams, and his deeper thoughts start to come out. This shift from guardedness to openness is a critical step toward real emotional connection. The type of respect that inspires trust isn't about blind agreement. It's about valuing his individuality even when you see things differently. It means listening without the intent to correct, challenge, or win an argument. It's in the way you acknowledge his strengths and the effort he puts in, regardless of whether the outcome is perfect. For example, if he takes the lead on a decision, even if it's small, showing appreciation for his initiative reinforces that you trust his judgment. That small validation grows into a pattern where he feels empowered to be himself around you. There's also a subtle but crucial difference between respect given because it's earned and respect given because you choose to honor the person. When a man feels that you respect him not just for what he's done, but for who he is, it creates an emotional anchor. He begins to associate you with feelings of strength and security because you see the man behind the actions. Over time, that association becomes incredibly powerful. It's no longer just about liking you or enjoying your company. It's about feeling that his identity is safe with you, and that safety breeds attachment. Respect that inspires trust also shows up in the small, everyday moments. It's in remembering what matters to him, letting him speak without interrupting, and showing genuine curiosity about his world. It's in standing by his side in public and speaking of him in ways that reflect pride rather than criticism. These micro experiences send the message that you are on his team, not against him. In a world where many men feel like they constantly have to prove themselves, finding someone who consistently treats them with respect is rare, and when they do, it can be life-changing. Emotional safety is the silent key that unlocks a man's willingness to truly open his heart. Most men have been conditioned to wear armor layers of emotional defense built from childhood lessons, past heartbreaks, and societal expectations. They've been told to man up, stay strong, and never let them see you sweat. Over time, this armor becomes second nature, So much so that even when they want to express vulnerability, something inside tells them to hold back. But when a man meets someone who creates an environment where he feels he can let his guard down without fear of being judged, ridiculed, or betrayed, everything changes at a core level. This is not about pity, and it's not about treating him delicately. It's about creating a deep sense of emotional freedom where he feels seen and accepted exactly as he is. In a world where most men feel they have to perform, compete, and prove themselves every day, emotional safety is like oxygen. It's rare, it's precious, and when they find it, they don't want to let it go. Think about it. A man can be surrounded by friends, colleagues, even family, and still feel emotionally isolated. That's because real connection isn't about proximity, it's about presence. It's about someone leaning in, paying attention, and saying not necessarily with words but with energy, "You can show me all of you, even the parts you've been hiding, and I won't walk away." When a man experiences that level of acceptance, his natural instinct to protect himself starts to fade. Vulnerability for a man isn't just about telling secrets or sharing pain. It's about exposing the parts of himself that he fears others might not understand. Maybe it's his insecurities, maybe it's his doubts, maybe it's dreams so big they scare him. And here's the thing, he won't do that with just anyone. He tests the waters, he watches how you respond when he admits a weakness. He notices whether you hold it against him or treat him differently afterward. Each moment like this either reinforces his trust or reminds him to keep the walls up. Emotional safety is built slowly, through consistency. If he shares something small and you meet it with empathy instead of criticism, he'll share something bigger next time. Over time, this pattern forms a bond that's almost unbreakable. When emotional safety is present, a man doesn't just relax, he comes alive. His sense of humor sharpens, his creativity flows, and his deeper emotions start to surface. This is because the mental bandwidth he used to spend guarding himself is now free to be invested in the relationship. He no longer has to calculate every word or action to protect his ego. Instead, he can be fully present in the moment. And when a man feels that level of ease, his attachment deepens. He starts associating you with that rare, liberating feeling of being able to just be himself. And that, for a man who's used to carrying the weight of the world, is magnetic. This is why emotional safety is often the quiet, invisible force behind lasting connections. It's not about dramatic declarations or constant reassurance. It's about the subtle but powerful way you respond to his truth. When you listen without rushing to fix him, when you understand without needing to agree, when you hold space without making it about you, you create a relationship environment where he can finally exhale. And once a man can breathe around you, really breathe, he'll find himself drawn back to that space again and again without even fully knowing why. Shared values and vision are the foundation for deep emotional attachment in men because they create a powerful sense of alignment. When a man meets someone whose beliefs, priorities, and moral compass resonate with his own, it's not just compatibility, it's connection on a soul level. Humans naturally gravitate toward those who reflect their inner world, but for men, this alignment often carries even greater weight when it comes to opening up emotionally. It's the difference between simply enjoying someone's company and feeling like you're both walking toward the same horizon, hand in hand. This shared direction becomes a safe harbor where trust and intimacy can flourish without force. When two people see life through a similar lens, decision-making becomes more fluid and conflicts tend to be easier to resolve. Instead of pulling each other in different directions, you're reinforcing the same path. For a man, this creates a deep sense of stability, and stability is a primary condition for him to invest emotionally. It's not about agreeing on every tiny detail of life. It's about aligning on the big picture goals and values, things like family, personal growth, integrity, or a shared passion for adventure. When he knows that the person beside him values the same things he's building his life around, it amplifies his commitment and his willingness to be vulnerable. There's also an unspoken emotional relief that comes from shared values. A man doesn't feel the need to constantly justify his choices or explain his reasoning when the other person already understands his perspective. That kind of mental and emotional compatibility removes unnecessary friction and makes space for deeper conversations, mutual encouragement, and a sense of us against the world. Over time, these shared beliefs act as an anchor during challenges and as fuel during moments of growth. It's not just about liking the same hobbies, it's about believing in the same why behind the life you're building together. Beyond personal comfort, shared vision creates a mutual purpose that keeps the relationship alive and evolving. When a man sees that his partner dreams in the same direction, it gives him confidence that the relationship has long-term potential. This shared vision becomes a joint project, something worth protecting, nurturing, and prioritizing. He's no longer just thinking about me and you, he's thinking about us as a unified team, and when a man begins to think in terms of us, that's when emotional walls start to crumble, because the connection isn't just an experience, it's a mission. When a man feels truly supported during challenges, something powerful happens inside him. Men are often conditioned to believe they have to handle everything alone, to be the strong one who never bends under pressure. Society tells them that asking for help is weakness, and as a result, they silently carry heavy burdens. But when someone steps into his life and offers consistent support without judgment or condition, it creates a shift. This isn't about quick words of encouragement or occasional check-ins. It's about being a steady presence. It's about standing by him not only when things are going well, but especially when the storms hit. That kind of support is rare, and when a man experiences it, his emotional guard begins to drop. He starts to realize that he doesn't have to do it all alone, that there is someone willing to shoulder the weight with him. It's in those moments of hardship that emotional bonds are forged. Anyone can celebrate victories, but very few will walk with you through the valleys. Men notice this difference, even if they don't say it out loud. They pay attention to who is there when the world feels like it's falling apart, when plans fail, when unexpected problems arise. When a man sees that someone is still there, calm, unwavering, and unshaken, it plants the seed of deep emotional attachment. This consistent support becomes a signal to his subconscious that this person is not temporary, not conditional, and not fair weather. The consistency of support also speaks volumes about character. It shows commitment, reliability, and a kind of loyalty that men deeply respect. It's one thing to offer help once or twice, but it's entirely different to be dependable over time through different seasons of life. That kind of consistency builds trust on a level that casual interactions can never reach. Over time, he begins to open up more, share more, and rely more, not because he's weak, but because trust naturally grows when someone has proven again and again that they won't disappear when times get hard. Support in challenges doesn't always mean solving the problem for him. In fact, it often means standing beside him while he faces it himself, giving him the encouragement and confidence to push forward. Men respect their ability to fight their own battles, but knowing someone is there ready to step in if needed creates an emotional safety net. It's the silent message that says, "I've got your back no matter what." And for many men, hearing those words isn't even necessary. They can feel it in the way the person shows up, listens without judgment, and stays present without pressuring. This kind of presence is powerful because it removes the fear of abandonment during hardship. Many men have experienced relationships where people disappear the moment things get uncomfortable or messy. So when someone stays, when they lean in instead of pulling away, it stands out sharply in his memory. He begins to associate that person with stability and strength, two qualities that men value deeply in a partner or trusted companion. That memory, that emotional impression doesn't fade. It becomes a part of how he defines connection and loyalty. When challenges arise again, he will remember how it felt to be supported before. He will remember the relief of not having to carry everything alone, the comfort of knowing someone was in his corner. And with each experience like this, the emotional attachment deepens naturally without force. It's not built on grand gestures or dramatic moments. It's built on the quiet, consistent act of showing up, again and again, no matter how difficult the road becomes. When a man truly connects with someone on a deep level, it's often because the respect in that relationship has created a foundation of trust. This kind of respect isn't just about polite manners or surface-level courtesy. It's about feeling seen, heard, and valued for who he really is. When a man senses that his opinions are not just tolerated but genuinely considered, when his boundaries are honored, and when his individuality is celebrated rather than diminished, it unlocks a part of him that is often hidden. Respect is a rare currency in the emotional economy of relationships, and when it's given freely and consistently, it builds a powerful trust that allows a man to lower his guard. This trust doesn't happen overnight. It's developed through countless little moments, through the way words are chosen, the tone that's used, and the reliability of actions over time. A man can only become emotionally invested when he feels certain that the person in front of him will not betray his trust, misuse his vulnerability, or undermine his worth. Emotional safety is the invisible force that allows vulnerability to thrive. For many men, vulnerability can feel like walking through a minefield, dangerous, unpredictable, and something to be avoided. Society often teaches men to be strong, stoic, and emotionally contained, which means opening up can feel risky. But when a man is with someone who makes him feel safe to share his fears, his doubts, his insecurities, and even his failures without judgment or ridicule, a powerful shift occurs. Emotional safety is not about pretending everything is perfect. It's about creating a space where imperfections are not only accepted but embraced. It's the reassurance that no matter how messy the truth is, it won't be used against him. When this level of safety exists, a man can begin to reveal layers of himself that even he may not have explored, and in doing so, he becomes emotionally invested in the relationship that gave it that freedom. Shared values and vision act as the compass that guides a relationship toward a common destination. When two people see the world through a similar lens, when they agree on what truly matters in life, it creates a bond that's hard to break. This doesn't mean they have to agree on every minor detail, but it does mean they align on core principles: integrity, loyalty, personal growth, family, or life goals. For a man, knowing that his partner's vision for the future doesn't conflict with his own creates a deep sense of alignment. It removes the uncertainty about where things are headed and replaces it with clarity and confidence. This shared direction transforms the relationship into a partnership where both are working toward the same end, and that unity naturally fosters emotional connection. Without shared values, even the strongest attraction can eventually fade, but with them, attraction deepens into something lasting. Consistent support in challenges is another force that draws a man closer emotionally. Life is full of unexpected storms, financial struggles, career setbacks, health issues, and personal disappointments. The way someone shows up during those moments reveals the true depth of their commitment. For a man, realizing that his partner isn't just present during the good times, but is also willing to stand beside him when things fall apart, creates a loyalty that runs deep. Support isn't always about solving the problem. Sometimes it's about simply being there, offering a steady presence and reminding him that he's not alone. Men remember who stood by them when they were at their lowest. That consistency becomes proof that the relationship is not conditional on circumstances, and that reliability becomes one of the most powerful emotional anchors in his life. Deep physical and emotional chemistry acts as the spark that keeps the connection alive. While emotional bonds can be built through trust, safety, and shared values, the physical and emotional attraction intertwines everything, making it feel alive and vibrant. This kind of chemistry is more than just physical desire. It's the way two people feel magnetically drawn to each other's presence. It's in the way conversations flow effortlessly, the way shared laughter feels like music, and the way a simple touch can communicate volumes. When physical attraction is matched with emotional resonance, it creates a feedback loop where each element strengthens the other. A man becomes emotionally invested when he feels not just mentally connected, but physically desired and energetically in sync with his partner. This dual connection fuels passion, commitment, and an ongoing desire to deepen the relationship further.